6:39 at KPEL, and today Donald Trump, Republican presidential hopeful, will be meeting with 100 African-American pastors and evangelical leaders in New York City. One of them is from right here in Acadiana. Good morning, Pastor Kerney Thomas. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing okay. This is an interesting meeting. We heard from the Trump campaign yesterday that an endorsement would happen. From talking to you, it does seem like a meeting, and you're interested in how, Trump could affect the people down in Louisiana. What are you hoping to come out of this meeting and then this public availability this afternoon?
Well, first of all, we definitely want to have an ear to the president if he makes it that far, and even if he don't, would like to have a voice, open dialogue with him. One of the things that I want to know concerning some of the comments that he's recently made, we definitely want to address that and get some different answers from him. Looking to want to know how he plans to address poverty, especially in our rural communities, and the wealth gap that we have right now between the larger cities and the rural areas. And then also, I'm really interested in finding out does he have any plans to start a venture fund, especially for the rural areas. I'm really concerned not only what's going on in our nation, but I'm in a small city, and sometimes we get overlooked. Mm-hmm. And so we want to definitely address that, and we definitely want to know what is his plan to address our poverty situation.
So
being the great businessman that he is.
So with this group that's going up there, I don't think I'm going out on a limb to say, the congregations of many of these churches and organizations, like I said, 100 African-American pastors and evangelical leaders today, historically would be a largely Democratic base. Is Trump a viable candidate for your congregations and the people who you support?
I just want to say at this point I'm open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm open for dialogue. I'm open to hear what he has to offer to our community, whether being Republican or being a Democrat. And you're correct. Most of us are basically Democrats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you're kind of in the middle. He could be your candidate depending on what he says, obviously, in these meetings today in New York.
Yes, he could be.
So Trump has sort of done, I don't know if you want to say he's made a name for himself and made the publicity and everything like that, but he's also had a lot of missteps with racial controversies, especially in the Hispanic culture. Do you see any of those problems putting a barrier between that base, those who you lead, and Trump?
Yes, and that's the reason I want to really hear his heart.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make comments, just because we ask, and we don't have really time to really stop and think about what we're saying. I want to know, is this really your heart, or is it something that you said without really stopping to think about what you're saying? Because we have a lot of racial tension going on in America right now, and we definitely don't need no more racism.
So the public event the Trump campaign has scheduled is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, noon here in Louisiana. As I understand it, there's a private meeting before, right, Pastor?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, well, we hope.
And it's only going to be about 5 of us that's actually going to be mainly dialogue and asking the question.
Okay.
And, thankfully, I'm one of those.
Great. Well, we will be back in touch with you. Hopefully, we could talk to you tomorrow morning on the show just to hear how the meetings went about, what your takeaway is from it. Obviously, it's happening later on this morning, and as the campaign says, they're planning it as an endorsement event. I said it a little bit earlier on the show, I've been in this business for long enough to not call it an endorsement event until it actually happens. So,
we definitely made it clear to them that it's not an endorsement event.
Okay. Well, Pastor Kerney Thomas, right here in Acadiana Church in Opelousas, we appreciate talking to you, and we'll plan on talking to you tomorrow.
Great.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.